we're going to get out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the squelch all the way up now. So from this point on, you're going to have to push those buttons in order to communicate, okay?
Right on.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and pick the helicopter up, and then we'll get out of here. All right, so everything looks good. We're going to give her a little go-go juice, and away we go. Alright, so as we get going here, you might feel some of the bumps from the wind up here in the Rocky Mountains. So if you're feeling heavy in your seat, that means we're getting an updraft. If you feel light in your seat, that means we're getting a downdraft. And sometimes the wind will blow from the side over my tail boom, and it'll make the nose go back and forth just a little bit, but it's no need for concern. I'm going to make a quick radio call, and then I'm going to be right back with you folks. Fremont County Traffic Helicopter 660 Kilo Delta is currently 10 miles to the west over the gorge doing low-level tours. We'll be at 7,500 feet and below Fremont County Traffic. Alright, so as we fly along here, if you look out in front of us there, you'll see a big burn scar. So we had a fire here in June of 2013. It started out over on the south side of the gorge, burned up to the edge, and then wind carried the embers up and over, and it set this side on fire as well.
Got another one waiting after
Burned a little over 3,000 acres by the time they got it under control.
So it literally crossed over the entire gorge?
Yeah, so it started out over on the south side and it got up to the edge, and then wind carried the embers up and over, and it set this side on fire too. So as we snake up Fremont Mountain here, you'll see the mountain bike trails and hiking trails. A lot of fun things to do up here in the Rockies. And you got the campground up here. It's a really nice campground. Now I will tell you, if you come and stay there, I hope you like helicopters, because you're going to get to see me about every 10 or 15 minutes.
That's okay.
Alright, so as we go out over the gorge here, you might feel some of the bumps from the valley winds below, but we do it quite a bit, so it's no need for concern. Alright, so if we look out of the right side of the helicopter over here, you'll see that's the gorge portion of it, and it's a gorge over there because it's deeper than it is wide at the top. And if we look out of the left side of the helicopter over here, this is the canyon portion of it, and it's a canyon over there because it's wider than it is deep. Underneath this is the Arkansas River. We have to call it the Arkansas because those folks just got to it before we did and named it. That's the way it goes. I wish I had something cool to tell you, but that's it. And if we look out the right side of the helicopter, those mountains way off in the distance out there is the Sangre de Cristo mountain range. And then these mountains right here in the forefront are the wet mountains. If you look below us here in front of the helicopter, you'll see that burn scar. That was actually caused by a lightning strike a couple of years ago. Now there's thousands of lightning strikes every year in the Rocky Mountains, but because they're out in the middle of nowhere, they just don't get recorded. This one, however, did get recorded because it was close to town here.
Fremont County Traffic, jump ship 8 Delta Zulu is climbing through 15 through 17.5, and we got about 2 minutes. Jumpers over Fremont, multiple canopy 17.5 or below. Use caution on unflat midfield, Fremont County.
And this mountain here in front of us is the YMCA mountain, and then these mountains over here to the left is the Fremont mountain. Now obviously they used to be one big mountain, but because of geothermal heating and pressure from underneath the Earth's surface millions of years ago, it caused it to crack. And now we have this wonderful land feature that you see here today, the gorge and the canyon, which is only about 6 miles from one end to the other. But even though it's not that long, it sure is magnificent. We sure enjoy it. And from this bird's eye view, you've got these convex and concave features on either side. And you can kind of piece it back together like a big jigsaw puzzle of what it would have looked like as one big mountain. If we look out the right side of the helicopter over here, that mountain way off in the distance, that bald mountain, that's actually Pikes Peak in Colorado Springs. As we round the bend here, you'll start to see the bridge up there coming into view. Now the bridge was a concept from 2 engineers out of Dallas, Texas back in 1928. And they decided they wanted to build the biggest, baddest bridge known to mankind. So they came right here to southern Colorado. And because of the narrow gap here at the gorge, they were able to achieve that feat in just 8 short months using the Department of Corrections prison labor. That's right, they put those bad boys to work. And after they were done, you have a bridge that's 956 Colorado. As we get out of the south side, you'll see this big burn scar. So when that fire came through, it actually burnt 48 of the 52 structures you see here at the gorge. So it was a pretty big fire. If you look down in this crevice right here, you'll see this lift that goes all the way from the top to the bottom. Unfortunately, that was something that burned up in that fire in June of 2013, and they were never able to rebuild it because by today's standards, it would cost $10 million to rebuild. So pretty expensive. Then you got these green top buildings here. That's the main visitor center. And then just to the left of that, you have the gondola rides and the zip lines that go across as well. And over there on the south side, again, you've got that big A-frame swing that'll actually swing you out over the gorge. And then behind it, you've got actually a rock climbing company that'll take you rock climbing down into the gorge if you so desire. So a lot of fun things to do here at the gorge when you come and visit. There's also a playground down there for the kiddos. Pond you can feed the fish. There's a lot of cool things to do. Alright folks, so that's about all I have to show you today. We're going to start heading back down towards our helipad now. If you look out of the left side of the helicopter over there, you see that old overlook. That used to be, you could actually board a train up here at the main visitor center, and it would take you down to that old overlook. But unfortunately, the tracks got burned up in that fire. And now the gentleman that, right next door to us, that owns Whitewater Bar and Grill, he actually purchased that old overlook and all this property out here. And he's going to build some log cabins out there, and if you come and stay in those log cabins, you will be able to go out to that old overlook. There's already a bar down there, and miniature golf, and disc golf, and I think there's even a yoga studio already built down there. So all kinds of fun stuff to do if you come and stay in his cabins. As we come in, if you look behind this brown house right here, you'll see those zip lines that go throughout the hills there. And you can sign up for those right next door to us as well. It's a really fun time. They also have an extreme course on down the road, and they also offer whitewater rafting guided tours as well. So as we come in, and I start to slow the helicopter down, you may feel it start to vibrate a little bit, and that's just the rotor vortices coming back up under the helicopter. And we're going to cross these short power lines here. We're going to stay away from the tall power lines over there because we like our power, but we don't like it in our rotor system. We're going to come out over this green field here where these blue tanks are at, and we're going to do a left pedal turn. It's going to kind of feel like we're stopping on a dime. Alright, and as we come in and I set the helicopter down, you may feel a little bit of a bump, and that's just because this helicopter has a rigid skid system on it. What I mean by that is that they didn't put any shocks on this bad boy. It's just solid steel underneath us. If you look out in front of us there, you'll see an Army helicopter. Good thing we just missed him, because they never make radio calls for whatever reason. There we go, back safe and sound. So what'd y'all think about that?
That was fantastic. That was awesome.
Yeah. I turned that squelch down now so we can talk normal.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all had a great time. So if y'all just get out one at a time with this gentleman for safety, that'd be great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was awesome. So cool. Hey, babe. Woo! Thank you. That was so cool.